Hello, Achievers! Most students panic when they see a map in IELTS Listening. But today, I'll show you a 3-step method that makes Part 2 one of the easiest scoring sections. Recently, I uploaded a video on IELTS Listening Section 2, Map Labeling Questions. Today, we'll review the step-by-step method to solve these questions. If you haven't watched that video yet, I'll paste the link in the description. Make sure to check it out first. Before the audio starts, you get 20 seconds. Here's what you must do during this time. Don't listen yet. Don't read everything. Just read the title. Look at the map only and completely read the map. Identify the starting point, for example, the entrance or reception. Notice the compass directions, north, south, east, west, or body relative directions like left, right, top, bottom. The clock face rule. Analyze whether the map follows this rule. Look at landmarks or big features, for example, visitor center, main entrance, wetland. These are your anchors. Check where letters A, B, and C are located on the map. If you start listening without knowing the map, you are already behind. Use preposition mapping or listen carefully to directional words. Scan the map and think of prepositions. Turn left, turn right, go past, opposite, next to, behind. Scan the blanks or questions. Guess what type of answer fits: café, library, restroom, parking. Check word limits for each blank. Listen for landmarks, buildings, rivers, cafes, bridges. Move your pen along with the audio. When the narrator says right, move your pen to the right, and when they say left, move your pen to the left. Write the answers in the blanks as you reach the correct location. Most importantly, once the audio starts, your full attention should be on the audio and the map. Mark the relevant points directly on the map and tick the correct answers there. You will get time later to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. These points were already discussed in yesterday's video. If you haven't watched it yet, the link is available in the description. If anything is unclear, you can ask me anytime. Remember all the steps above. Now listen carefully to the audio and stay fully attentive. The warden says,
"Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Greenwood Eco Reserve. It's wonderful to see so many people interested in our local biodiversity. Before we head out, I'd like to give you a quick orientation. We are currently standing here at the visitor centre, right by the main entrance."
You heard the warden say, standing here at the visitors centre, right by the main entrance. This means we are positioned at the visitors centre and the directions are being given from that point, right by the main entrance. This is gold. Why? Because now you know where the speaker starts, which direction everything is explained from. Map answers always follow the speaker's movement. They don't jump randomly. Let's solve them logically. Understand? So now listen carefully to the next part of the audio.
If you look at your maps, you'll see the old café directly to your left. However, please note that it is currently closed for renovation. If you need refreshments, you'll find our new bistro located at the far end of the reserve, just past the wetlands.
As you listened to this audio, we were able to identify the location of the bistro. This is where the adjacency trap appears. When you hear the word café, do not write the answer immediately. Listen carefully. The warden says directly to your left. Since the warden is standing on the right side of the entrance, this means the building on the left side of the entrance is the old café. Here's an important trick to notice. The speaker says, "However, please note that it is currently closed for renovation." The word "however" is used to invalidate the first building mentioned, indicating that it is not the correct answer. Then the speaker says, "It is currently closed for renovation," which means this building is closed and therefore cannot be the correct answer. After that, the speaker says, "If you need refreshments, you'll find our new bistro located at the far end of the reserve, just past the wetlands." The key phrase here is the far end of the reserve. When we look at the map, it follows the clock face rule. If the entrance is at 6 o'clock, then the far end of the reserve will be at 12 o'clock. Another important clue is past the wetlands. On the map, you can see water next to one of the buildings. That confirms the location of the new bistro. At this point on the map, the letter A is marked. So, the correct answer is letter A. Write A for the new bistro.
Now, follow the main path straight ahead. You'll come to a fork. If you take the right-hand path, it leads you to the bird hide. This is the best spot to see the kingfishers, though they are usually more active in the early morning rather than at this time of day.
In this part of the audio, the speaker explains that if we go straight along the main path, we will come to a fork. From there, if we take the right-hand path, we reach the location of the bird hide. There is no trick used here. This information is stated clearly and directly. Here, the letter B is marked next to the building on the map. Therefore, we will write B as the answer for the bird hide.
If you take the left-hand path instead, you'll reach our newest addition, the Education Hub. This was originally going to be a gift shop, but we decided a learning space for school groups was more important. Just behind the hub is the butterfly garden. It's a circular area, so it's easy to find.
In this part of the audio, we find the answer to question 13 and question 14, because both are related to the Education Hub. First, we identify the answer to question 13. The speaker says, "If you take the left-hand path instead, you'll reach our newest addition, the Education Hub." This is clear and straightforward. From the fork point, if we take the left-hand path, we reach the Education Hub. Since the Education Hub is marked with the letter C on the map, the correct answer is C. Now, let's find the answer to question 14. The question is, what was the Education Hub originally intended to be? Blank. Here, intended to be means the goal or original purpose. In the audio, the speaker says, "This was originally going to be a gift shop, but we decided a learning space for school groups was more important." This clearly tells us that the original purpose of the Education Hub was a gift shop. So the answer to question 14 is gift shop. Now, let's move on to the next part.
Finally, I'd like to mention our opening hours. For most of the year, we are open from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. But during these summer months, we've extended that. We now open an hour earlier at 8 a.m., though we still have to close the gates at 7 p.m. to ensure the animals aren't disturbed after dark.
Now, let's find the answer to question 15. The question is, what time does the reserve currently close? Blank. At first, the speaker says, from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. This sounds like the answer, but notice the phrase, for most of the year. This means it's just the general rule. Then the speaker says, but, which invalidates the previous information. They continue, We now open an hour earlier at 8 a.m. and finally, we still have to close the gates at 7 p.m. Since we need the current closing time, the correct answer is the last piece of information, 7 p.m. IELTS listening is not difficult, it just requires consistent practice.